Hello, it's unscripted Ray here, so you know there's going to be a whole lot of rambling. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you guys are surprised and confused based off of the title of the video. I hope you can't hear the train in the background. Oh my fucking god. But no, it's. You done? No, it's not a prank. I'm serious. But before we get into that, I want to talk about a few other things, so please listen to me. So this message is actually for the people who has been following me for a while, who has supported me and always cared about my mental health. I want to let you guys know this instead of talking about the more negative side of the community, is that no one is pressuring me to do this. I am not doing this because I'm caving or I just lost it. I'm doing this for a personal reason. So, yeah, I know I've talked a lot in the past that I've been very adamant against getting voice actors, mainly because of my mental health, because I didn't think I could handle managing a bunch of people at the same time while also, being a one man crew. But now things have kind of changed, and that's because now that the trial is over, I began to reconsider of what I can and cannot handle because personally I found the trial part to be the most stressful part cuz I didn't know if I could make a trial that I would be okay with. I personally have a little bit of a high standard for myself. So for me, I was very worried during the trial, thinking I'm gonna fuck up or something. While my trial still has a lot of room for improvements, which is something that I will be looking forward to for the next trial, trial two. I now have a better understanding on what are my strengths and weaknesses during the trial, and I can prepare myself better, which actually has kind of toned down the stress for me. I've been feeling basically better about the project because I feel like even though it's chapter one's technically not done, I kind of feel like I've already completed it. Like the hurdle of that trial ending was you know. Anyways, the thing that I kind of also want to talk about is that it's not that I've been lying, but it's kind of truthfully, I actually was never against getting voice actors. My issue was, mental health, but also the reason why I was very adamant on no and never was because I came to realize that most people didn't, well, not most people, sorry, um, a lot of vocal people didn't accept maybe as an answer and kept trying, they kept trying to push, and some of them used to be very nasty. Um, I decided to say never and no, and then, when I changed my mind, I changed my mind. That's how I was going to go about it. I found I found ugh, fuck. This is what happens when you live near a train station. Fucking in the background all the time. Anyways, I found that people tend to respect a more final answer than a wishy-washy answer. So that's why I was very aggressively no and never. Uh, but things have changed and I feel a little better, so I'm willing to try new stuff, you know. And I say it's more for personal reasons because one, I kind of do want my sequel Fangen to be voice act, But the thing is, I don't think it's a good idea for me to like go from having very little voice acting managing experience because I have uh, other projects that you guys don't know about, and I'm not going to talk about it here. But yeah, um, I had that very little experience, and I felt like going from that very little experience to jumping into like 20 plus people. I thought that was just not a good idea for me, so I'm going to take it slow. And yeah, let's just go right into the actual video part where you want to hear me talk about voice actors, I guess. Alright, so now let's get into FAQs. Even though you guys didn't send me these questions, I'm just assuming that these are going to be very common questions. So, number one, will this now become fully voice act? No, neither will the sequel actually. Number two, why only four characters instead of everyone who's alive? The reason being is that I'm trying to take this slowly. So instead of just opening up all those auditions, whatever the fuck, I'm just going to do it by sets. So I'm just going to do the first four set, and then after when I feel comfortable with the first four set, I'm going to open another four set. I just think that this will be less stressful for me, and I am still prioritizing my mental health, so that's what we're gonna do. The four characters that are going to have an open auditioned thingy on casting call are going to be Kaizue Jin, Yua Kaneko, Harry Wilcox, and Tomoko Akiyama. Why those four? Kaizue is the main character, Yua and Harry are part of the trio, and Tomoko is, you know, she's Tomoko. She's there. She's there. Why not? Four people. So yes. Those are the first four people that will have the open audition thingy on casting call. And please only submit your thingy, audition thingy, on casting call. Number three, I think, when the voice actors get picked, are they gonna get access to the script? Not really. The thing is, R0 will probably be like completely partially voice act. You know how like the character text will say like a paragraph, but the character themselves only said something on the lines of like what or I or fuck off. Basically, it's going to be completely like that, including the trials. The trials will not be fully voice act. Number four, is this paid or volunteer? And this is paid. It's not a huge amount of money, unfortunately. I'm not very wealthy. Sad face. But when the person gets picked, I'm basically effectively immediately I'm gonna give them uh, the script that I want them to read from, and I'm going to do 20 cents per word. The idea is that I will keep reusing a lot of the same voice assets off of that script, but sometimes there's going to be like a special script, like for the revamped introduction when I get to that, or like maybe like a very special scene in the chapter. There will be those, but yeah, kind of merging question 3 and 4, but that's basically what the plan is. Um, so like, have a PayPal or a Ko-fi. I don't know how to pronounce that, but like, have one of those two things, and I'll be able to like, yeet some money towards your way. Uh, Yes. And I guess number 5, are there going to be any judges for the voice? And uh, I'm kind of just gonna go for what I think is best suited for the character. I will, in this video, I will talk about what I'm looking for so I could give you guys some kind of direction in terms of voice. Um, but like, uh, I'm a one man crew. I'm kind of the only judge as well. Uh, I don't think I'm biased. Not a lot of voice actors talk to me, so oh no. Let's just see how it goes. Anyways, I rambled on long enough. Let's just talk about the voice direction for each character, the 4 characters that I mentioned, and let's hope that things go for the best. So, the first one is our protagonist, Kaizue Jin. Now, for Kaizue, I'm open to interpretations, but I do have some kind of generic requirements that I am looking for. I know I did use Kibo's voice as a stand in during the trial, but I just want to let you guys know that I don't think Kibo is a good representation of a voice that I'm looking for Kaizue, so I wouldn't use Kibo as an example. Kaizue is, in terms of a male voice, it's kind of mid tone. I guess that's the best way to describe it. It's not too high, but not too low in a way. I imagine his voice to be kind of not necessarily generic, but somewhat a little bit nerdy, but not cartoonishly nerdy, and somewhat attractive, but not too handsome, if that makes any sense. I do not want a too handsome voice for Kaizue. It just doesn't seem like it would fit, in my opinion. Um, I would probably prefer a voice that can be a bit flexible in terms of like can be subtle but clearly has the tone for like neutral, angry, or even intimidating since an Kaizue do have this like intimidating side to him, so that would be important. Other than that, I don't think Kaizue has a super unique voice. So, again, I am open to interpretations. The next character on the list is Yua Kaneko, and I imagine her voice to be powerful, but when I say powerful, I don't necessarily mean deep. I would say, in terms of female voices, her range is kind of mid tone. I would describe her voice to be powerful, confident, proper, and sometimes just downright cutthroat. That's just kind of the character Yua is, and I do feel like her voice should reflect that. Other than that, I am open to interpretations, but definitely I wouldn't give her a high pitched voice. Her voice is not dainty at all. I can't imagine it being dainty. Um, but again, even if it's not dainty, that doesn't mean it's not feminine. It's just, she doesn't sound fragile whatsoever. I'm trying to describe it. So, yeah, I'm talking about like a powerful, proper voice, but still feminine, if that makes any sense. But not like the most passive aggressive bitch ever type of voice, but, confident. Kind of just repeating words. Uh, yeah, I'm open to interpretations. I'll listen to what people audition for and hope for the best. The next character on the list is Harry Wilcox, and I imagine him to have kind of a slightly generically handsome British voice. There isn't too much to say about it. I'm pretty sure if you have a generic handsome voice and you can pull off, hopefully, the British accent correctly, although I do have American ears, so honestly, watch me pick a person. I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds totally British, and then someone's gonna be like, this is the fakest British accent ever. Watch that happen. But yeah, something just kind of a very pleasant, generic male British accent would do. And again, in terms of the tone or like the pitch, I mean, uh, you're gonna hear this a lot, but I like them mid tones. But for Harry, I don't mind if his voice is like slightly deeper than other characters, but I don't imagine him with like a deep voice, if that makes any sense. Alright, moving on. The next character is Tomoko Akiyama. And guess what? I also imagine her with relatively a mid tone voice. But I don't mind her voice to be deeper than Yua's voice. It's just like not an incredibly deep voice, but she does not have a high pitched voice in my ears, eyes, both. Tomoko is a very emotional girl. She can swing to one emotion to the next emotion. So I'm definitely going to be looking for someone that can express that emotion through their voice. I would say the personality of her voice is confident, snarky, aggressive, but she can also have a bit of a sweet side depending on who she's talking to. I'm definitely going to try to listen for your bitchy, aggressive voice since a lot of the time she is in that mode, especially if Yua or Harry's around, you know. Again, I am open to interpretations, but yeah, I feel like that's the general consensus of what I am looking for. Anyways, the link should be in the description. I hope everything flows nicely for me. Um, okay. End video.